Well, hello! I'd like to welcome you to my first impressions of a Spanish fountain pen. A few people on YouTube have joked that I'm trying to collect a pen from every country, and not quite, but every time I find a new manufacturer from a country I don't have any before, I just get kind of excited. So this is a Spanish company. Sadly, they are no longer in existence, but this is a very high quality pen. I won't call it exactly vintage. It dates from the 1990s, about the time I graduated high school. So let's take a look at this Inoxcrom. Of course, looking at it, I think you can kind of see one of its forebears would be Mont Blanc. I mean, doesn't it just kind of have that look? Well, a lot of pens do. And I'm not going to hold it against them. If you look at the cap band here, it says Inoxcrom 1920, which I believe is the model or else the year Inoxcrom was founded. I'll have to get back to you on that. And then Inoxcrom again, Spain, if you didn't believe me. Now, if it was a Mont Blanc 149 Meisterstück, I'd be turning this and I'd be turning a piston knob. But it's not. It's slimmer than that, thank goodness. Slender grip, the nib, 1920, which makes me think that's the founding year. Cute little ship. And what's that say? First qual M. So first quality. I don't know what the ship is supposed to represent, but Spain does have quite a history of exploring. Up until an unfortunate encounter with the British Empire, which we won't talk about. Sorry to my Spanish viewers. Alright, I had to find a converter that fit it because it didn't come with a converter, but it needed one. I believe this is a Rotring converter, but I may be wrong about that. So let's, and I don't think the nib is gold. I believe it is a steel nib. So let's take a look at how it writes. Let me find a suitable ink. All right, for no reason whatsoever, I'm going to go with Krishna Lavender Black. Yes, last fall I had a bit of a Krishna splurge. And I want to see how this ink writes. So you get to come along on the voyage. Bubbling, which is always a good sign. Pretty decent fill for the first turn. Ink is a little stinky. Smells... definitely has that formaldehyde smell I remember from high school biology class. Now, I later on taught biology, and yes, the dead animals do have a smell, but not quite that formaldehyde smell. This is reminding me more of formaldehyde than it is of more recent things, but thank God I'm not teaching biology anymore, so I don't have to do that anymore. I get to play with chemicals and machines and do programming and fun things like that instead of stick my hands in dead animals. Mr. Squirrel, you made the school stink. Yep. Alright, so let's see how it writes. I've been curious about this one. I know nothing about the company. I'm going to have to learn. Ooh, my last review bled through, so I think we'll skip a page. The ink has not gotten to the tip of the nib yet, which is fine. It kind of all depends on where the ink actually gets sucked into. Oops, and I just splashed some ink. I'll put the full name of the pen in the video description. What did I call this? Violet black? I already forgot what this. Lavender black. Wow. I think I already told you this is a steel nib, so don't expect any flex. That said, I like how it feels. A little bit slender, but a nice lightweight pen. Wetness and flow, I think you're seeing that too. Also, I have to say this ink is shading very nicely. So maybe this is a good pen if you want to show off a shading ink. Have to remember that next couple of times I fill it up. Wetness and flow. Smear test. Oops, smear, not sneer. Not sneering at this pen. I like it. Of course, this is a first impression. Those can change. Oh yeah, and some of this is still not dry yet. Reverse writing, if you're into that kind of thing. Who am I to judge? Not bad. Definitely an extra fine, but a very smooth extra fine. And then finally, the Pierre Gustafson test, which is a test of how well does it flow continuously. Oh yeah. Quite impressed. Of course, the trouble when I do a vintage first impression, I hardly call something that was made when I was graduating high school vintage, is it's not like you're just going to go out and be able to buy one, but they're still fun. Slipped right into the shirt, no problem. It's always a good test. I don't know, so very classic design, a very attractive pen in its, quiet, classic way. Lighter weight than some would like. It has despite being lighter weight, I don't know how to describe it, but it has a very quality feel. And it's fun. I've got a Spanish pen now. So, yeah, working on my map of Europe, I guess. I'm going to have to get Caran d'Ache if I want a Switzerland, and I do have a Romanian pen. Got to work on some of those Central European countries. Albania, I don't know. We'll see. So, anyway, I hope, even if you can't find an Inoxcrom out there, I hope this was at least interesting, and we'll do a full review of it down the road. I always like to do 2 full fills on a pen before I review it, so I've had time to find its warts. And yeah, look forward to that. So thank you for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.